a pretty small campus, huh?
Really small? I thought it was bigger. They're redoing this library.
Right.
It's so
the library.
Do you need help, Grandpa?
No, alright.
The Starbucks is right on my way to class.
Oh. Well, I said you don't really need rollerblades for school.
No.
I need to have your college on tape. Yeah, Teeny. Teeny at Iona.
Huh. Not working? This memory?
I have my other.
Lens is out.
Oh.
My grandpa's camera's full.
Oh.
Can't believe it.
I am, Teen. I'm just getting Sheena's school.
Here. Into this field.
Right.
Into this tent.
Yes, I see that. St.
This-
Columbia.
Make it in your picture. Do it in your movie.
All right, Teen, just relax. What? What? Hey, get a picture.
Oh, I should hold myself, Mom.
Because you fall and you will get bad boo-boos.
Mom, let's have some glass. Help him.
No, she
Oops.
did today. She did one of those.
Yes,
pretty
I
good.
did today.
Went down the street.
Streets out.
No, I don't. It was just because when we were in big traffic, I didn't know where I was going.
Why we gave her a dry run today.
I mean, like at the orientation.
War began neither side, down south or up north, figured on the business being a long drawn out affair. Both sides presumed we will rip those other people good and proper, mighty quick. And two, Korea and Vietnam. We fought 2 wars with merry old England, had war with Mexico, another with Spain, had all the dead from all those wars. You get about equal to what this thing took away in 4 short years. A generation of young American men simply erased. If you like looking at things from the perspective of numbers, here's another look. Right now our nation's engaged in warfare overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan. There were more American soldiers upon the battlefield here at Gettysburg alone. Here in the East, found the Confederate armies enjoying wonderful success. The way I like to state it, up till now here in the East, the Confederates have whipped the Yankees like a bunch of rented mules. Now there were reasons the Southern soldiers had done so well so far. Let me give you just a couple of those reasons. Number 1, most people today don't look at the missions or the jobs the two sides had to win this war. The mission for the South was much easier than the mission for the North. For the South to win this war, all she had to do was live on, continue to be, simply exist. We then have a new nation on earth, the Confederate States of America. Would you all agree with me, living, existing, and being are not the hardest jobs you've heard of in your lives? For the North to win, much more difficult. For the North to win, she had to organize armies, mobilize and then support those armies as they were sent into the southern states to suppress the southern people. That's a difficult mission. How many Yankees I make that remark? Reason 1. Less than 6 million southern citizens back then, over 22 million northern. A 250,000 plus good men already dead. To be blunt, by 1863, the Southern government knew she was simply running out of manpower already. 22 million Yankees. Talk about running out of manpower for playing the naval blockade about her seaports. But what the Confederates had not figured on, 5 years before this battle, 3 years before this war, England fought a war of her own with Russia known as the Crimean War. Now, in 18, most well, Lee takes Harrisburg for Lincoln. That's a political nightmare. What do you think would happen to George Bush a few years ago if old sad man, or if you want dead man Hussein, captured Austin, Texas? Would you agree that would have been difficult on President Bush? Lee knew as sure as he lived and breathed. Just by the way, if you're interested in history, where those fires are by that one cannon barrel, actually the 120th restaurant here, Army turned, using 2 roads from your right to the west out of the mountains, and 2 from Harrisburg behind you. Lee orders his army to race and gather at Gettysburg's crossroads. Here comes 15,000 new Yankees. Now Lee's 74,000 Confederates turn and smite them a mighty blow. And what Lee wants to do is kick the Yankee army off as it arrives on its roads piece by piece. You see the plan Lee has laid out. 2 years in what is now western Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, young Lieutenant and Captain John Buford served with Lieutenant Colonel United States Army Robert E. Lee. You think West Point graduates, career military men before the war might exchange philosophy on how you go about fighting the enemy? John Buford almost instantly perceived what's up. Lee has turned. And essentially he's attempting to inject his army. Infantry slams into them. By 1 o'clock or so that afternoon, maybe 12:30, they managed to shoot down about 6,000 of each other. I call that good proper work in 2.5 hours. Would you agree with me? The Yankees will maintain possession of this ridge, known as McPherson's Ridge. The Confederates pull back near a mile to your left, to a place called Hur's Ridge. I've marked out with the white buggies. One Confederate veteran, Alabama boy in his 90s, walks the last 12 or 13 miles out of the Blue Ridge with his flag slung over his shoulder, that old battle flag. Interviewed by radio reporters, Johnny, how come you're walking here? This Alabama veteran said, by Jingy, I walked there then. By Jingy, I walked there today. That's a grizzled boy, would you agree with me? If you look at that monument, the gray base of the thing is granite from the state of Maine. The white stone is stone from Alabama. Would you agree with me? Maine's up north. Would you say Bama's down south? And today they cooperate in harmony. The United States reunited in peace, one nation forever. Nicely done, would you agree? That is, to my knowledge, the last great reunion of American City right at the foot of the hill. As 8,500 Yankees reach that spot, I'll direct your attention to the cannon right here. Which way does this cannon point? 16,000 more Confederates began to arrive here. stretching their line nearly a mile that way, placing 44 cannon in operation right away. What do you think those 8,400 Yankees to your left are thinking right about now, folks? Can somebody say, uh-oh? That's a 4-letter word now, ain't it? No shoes at all. Tourism. National Cemetery. The occasion upon which that's the Lincoln train station still preserved. What we're going to do is talk a bit about Lincoln. This is our best place to do it, where he slept the night before. Now, there's the Lincoln train station. Across the street's a modern restaurant. You all see the Lincoln Diner. After the tour, it's going to be about lunchtime. Good eating food in the Lincoln Diner. It's greasy but good. They say greasy food going to kill you. Something's going to kill you eventually. It might as well be good eating food. Would you agree? I notice I have some people in. Right above it's going to be a second floor bedroom window. There's a black strainer streak under it. That's President Lincoln's bedroom window. In fact, the night before he delivered the Gettysburg Address, he hanged out that window and tried a few lines of great speech on about 3,000 gatherers right here. And right now, where you're latching onto the roof, Lincoln took to the cemetery from where he slept. Now, Lincoln's president. He got his own bedroom and his own bed. There were 19 governors in town the night before the event was done, November 19th. There's still thousands of wounded and dying in town, packing on 8 hotels. The governors in town the night before were packed as many as 6 governors to a bed. Politics makes way. There's a newer Presbyterian church on the same site today. The newer church is the church of Dwight David Eisenhower, Mamie, his wife, right here. President Nixon, as his great-grandfather was, they were both Quakers. Do you know much about American religions? Quakers, they listen to God when he says don't fight. George Nixon listened. George Nixon had a quote, "Only God has the right to take or give human life." That's a good quote, would you agree? But George Nixon will not run away from service. He has volunteered for the medical detachment of the 73rd Ohio Infantry. He won't shoot you, but if you get shot, he'll attempt to preserve your life. And that's how George Nixon, George Meade looking straight at, just like 2 boxers the night before the bout. Lee's on his horse. Anybody know the name of Lee's horse? That wasn't the horse's original name, you know. Meade ordered 10,000 men to defend that hill. But the Yankee general assigned that mission was politically appointed, militarily untaught. 3 times he asked to abandon that hill, left. He abandoned that hill. You ever hear the term sticking out like a sore thumb? This is it. The Yankee Army's a mile away. The politician advanced forward to what we call the Peach Orchard Salient. You can see, Colonel Lee, I declined your invitation to attack. May I still see those hands one more time? May I ask you, sir, how often you declined the invitation of George Washington? Many people think when you call Confederate rebels it's an insult. George Washington proclaimed himself to be the American rebel. What this is said to be, that's the spirit of America, our rebellious nature, George, the youth of the South following that rebel spirit, given their lost life for the American cause. See how neatly that thing's done up? Now I have a way to sort of pick on Southerners today. This is not America's first Civil War. You raise your hands. I'm going to need your help. As I'm talking about snipers, at one point, I will raise my fist. When the fist is up, that's your cue. In a second, the finger will pop up. When the finger goes up, I'd like the ladies to say, real accurate. Could we practice that, ladies? Not yet.
Real accurate.
One more time with verb.
Real accurate.
Excellent. I might also mention, sir, there's poison ivy all over this hillside. Stay out of the weeds.
Prepare to dismount.
We're going to get out and walk. Oh, I don't know. It's not like on the road. It's so free.
How much I have to eat? The battery is empty.
Be careful up there here.
You and me. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. We have to send them back to kindergarten. Doesn't make a noise, mine does. Here, come here, Teen. Christina.
I want to get my group down over here so I can keep the path open. Why do you have a Cape May sweatshirt? Were you a tourist there one time? General Meade was the lighthouse builder. He built a lighthouse that built jams. You were there at the Bournemouth Lighthouse on Beach Sound. Now, the best way to give you an idea why this hill is important is to show you what Cannon can do. The Yankee gunners wrestling guns up here, the Confederates put out. A good gun crew here. You see the red barn on the Confederate bridge with two white doors? Stay over there in front of the trees. They sort of look like a pair of tall eyes looking at you. You have a good gun crew here, one of those white doors to fire at. Within 3 or 4 shots, they're going to put a shell through it. Is that good shooting with cannon back then? Now that makes 2 big assumptions. Assumption A, you could see the barn in the smoke. Never forget the smoke. B, no wind. But on a clear, calm day, that's the effective range. These guns could hurl a shell even further. Knowing that, the main Yankee Army's battle line lays right up that ridge to your right where the clearing and monuments are. If the Confederates seize this hill and put their cannon, would you say the Yankees up there are in trouble? Remember, General Meade ordered 10,000 men to defend this hill. That's a lot of men for this hill. Would you agree with me? The politician, those left, contrary to orders. Our baby still arrives. There's his statue, General Warren. First thing he saw was very clear. There simply ain't no Yankees. And remember, the monuments interpret for you. He is looking to that last clearing over there. Remember the Alabama monument we just saw? She's pointing right between his eyes. He's looking right at her. You see how they work? Now, I lied to you. I told you there were no Yankees here, didn't I? Say, big stinking liar. There were 2. Here's technology. The Confederate Army has trashed the telegraph system all over this area. During the battle, the closest operating telegraph station was in Frederick, Maryland, 58 miles that way. This is what I call unique technology. The Yankee Army has a signal corps with wigwag or semaphore flags. By noon, July 2nd, the Yankees had a system of flag stations, starting at their headquarters 2 miles that way. First flag station per se is right on the boulder where his statue is. Next one's on the closest mountain over there. By noon, July 2nd, if General Meade asks a simple enough question, for instance, how many wagons of 58 caliber ammunition up DC for my army yesterday, he can get the answer down 58 miles to the telegraph, then instantly to the War Department to telegraph in Frederick 58 miles up in about 90 minutes, even 1 hour sometimes. I think that's outstanding technology. Would you agree with me? May I see the veterans' hands one last time? General Warren looks up here. There's 2 flag officers, second lieutenants with no weapons. He screams, and I quote, "My God, are these all the men we have here?" These 2 lieutenants snap to attention, saluting the general. Yes, it is, sir. We're it. General Warren then says, "I wish you to raise such he has no authority to give orders." However, 1 year before the battle, Warren was a combat commander of a brigade, and placed under him was the great Colonel Vincent, a recent Harvard graduate. He picked up old Warren that this man's bright and ambitious. He asked Vincent, "I will train you in the arts of war as West Point taught me, but it's going to be long hours after hours, Vincent. Regular duty plus more. Are you good for it?" And Vincent said, "Sure, yeah." Warren takes off galloping from there, looking for a brigade of Yankees to bring here. There are 63 brigades he could bump into. The very first one he managed is commanded by Colonel Strong Vincent. Would you call that a long set of odds? He goes to Vincent one day. He says, Vincent, when I fought you last year, that hill is important to us.
John Sedgwick to die instantly. 800 yards. That's some shooting. Would you agree with me? When Lee was notified that Uncle John had been shot and died by one of his own snipers, Lee broke down and openly wept in front of his staff. All war stinks, am I correct about that? But Civil War stinks the worst. When not just states and nations, but families and religions, improving the lunacy of night attacks. So 2 days at Gettysburg conclude, 41,000 Americans fallen, and day 3 is still to come. We're about to mention Pickett's Charge. How many ever heard of Pickett's Charge? You see that fellow on the front of the monument there? Mr. Lincoln? Guess who is responsible for George Pickett being sent to the United States last attack, known as Pickett's Charge Bay, will aim right for the center of the Yankee line, the group of trees dead ahead of us. Now I want you to look at this position, folks. The Confederate lines about to your left, Seminary Ridge. Lee is going to send 13,000 men across this open mouth with the whole Yankee army up on this ridge, with cannon that are packed with this stuff. I told you that I consider Lee a military genius. Does this look like the work of genius? Meade came up from his headquarters, which we'll see in a moment, and he stood at this stone wall on your left to celebrate his victory by saying, then George Meade pointed over that blood-strewn field and said, you see those piles and lumps out there? The back seat of backside of Meade's statue. This is Lydia Leicester's house. A couple of oddities. I hope the rest of your day is comfortable.
What is wrong with my camera out there?
That's not the right one we're looking.
No, this isn't where Lincoln gave his speech, is it? No, we have to go up to see that now, right?
Look at that.
They're being poopy doopies.
Nice.
These are all the unknown graves.
Oh.
But it's only this one row. It's not, I mean,
Oh, the monks.
Right.
They have to fight for their life.
Yeah. Oops.
Mom, we didn't put suntan on.
Oh, we're all right. These are all the Civil War graves and unknown soldiers. This is where Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address, or near here. They're not exactly sure because the soldiers took down his platform and burned it for wood because they were freezing. And this is the Gettysburg Address.
I'm going to the other side and you get us. What's that?
Yes, Tina, I got the whole swimming pool. The whole 3 feet of swimming pool. Can you swim good now?
Steve Rogers and I'm so the light board. Now I'm jumping. From here, I jump.
All right.
1,
2.
3.
Yay!
That's my foot. The finger comes again to the deep water. Mom, everything comes.
Huh?
Everything coming.
Is it cold? It's because it's early.
It can go, and the nose can go every day with Pooh. Now I'm going to show you favorite here.
Alright.
And
What?
in our house, remember the finger the elves. Finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1.
Yeah, but you gotta take your life jacket off. You can't go under with your life jacket on.
What?
You can't go under with your life jacket on.
This is ice cold. Mom, it's ice cold.
It's cold.
No.
Can't be ice cold. It's the same water. It's the same water that was in there last night.
But this is ice cold. Mom, this is ice cube. I can't even move. I can't even move. You see? Should I come move? One belly!
Yeah.
And my neck. One,
2, 3. Yay! Alright, now take your jacket off and go swimming under and go underwater. Show Daddy how you can go under.
are you not already showing Daddy?
Huh?
Are you not already showing Daddy?
No, I'm gonna show them when we come home.
Already? Maria, Cola,
One. Come on, get up the stair. You what? Where's Ralph? Okay, come on, go underwater now. Okay, ready? Go under. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Alright, team swim, not a dancing show. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
2, 3. No holding your nose.
I breathe out.
Uh-huh.
I hold it. Should we breathe out?
All right, Jane, come on. Good job. All right, Jane, swim. It's just the water. Hello. Ready, Gene? Hello. Everybody say hello. We all hate video cameras.
More than life itself.
You had made meat this morning.
Yeah, we ate.
It's my Taco Bell.
Where?
My Taco Bell.
Oh, they have,
They have toast.
they have you have stuff there.
They have donuts.
You had donuts just like them?
No, there was donuts. I ate cereal.
You eat cereal. So that's a good variety too.
No one ever takes pictures of me until I see a picture of me, and then I think, why was I complaining?
At work, I have my old job. Been up there for 6 years. Because I keep replacing people, and I said, why would I replace when I'm 6 years younger? So skinnier. I'm supposed to come and put my legs on.
Oh.
Jeannie! Are you gonna clean my leg?
All right, it's fun stuff. I lost them. Oh, there they are. Where is she? Now bouncing. No. We saw the Hindenburg too many times.
They got the extra graphic.
Oh, they have a blowout? Okay, you take a big one. For a minute. Eddie, you're right in front of the shooting.
Go get that chair. Emma, move your stinking puppy.
Equal
You got
word.
your blue bag? Cameras in there.
Yeah, blue bag is in the college.
It's initials.
Yeah, someone's initial.
I love that.
Carly's so stupid. She said so exactly.
This thing is
Why am I getting Carly?
I'm calling the police, mother. You're invading my personal
Yeah,
space.
you got a smaller one. I might put it over
Calvin
there.
Klein will be liking this, Mom.
Huh?
Calvin Klein will be liking this.
Why?
You know the model for them?
Oh.
He'll leave a little air space.
Then he'll burn himself.
He's afraid. He never can. He never go on.
Although this side looks like it's hot now.
Yeah.
My grandma, that was him, was singing with
Is he playing guitar?
not nice.
Okay, I'm recording you guys. Anybody has
It's not-
anything interesting to say?
Yo, what's up?
Turn out more people.
Sheena? Hi.
Do you know your other
I'm getting warm.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I did. I want to do the warm
This is boring.
I'll get it for you.
I'd be scared.
God. I'm like looking over there. I'm like,
I know, what's missing Carly all the time?
oh, you don't need.
Where's your blue bag? Back at the, Dorothy? Where's your blue bag?
What's up?
Got it.
Ah.
Judy will send me some.
Are you laughing at me? Am I funny or something?
What's my doggy?
Am I different or special?
There's the seal.
I know I cannot. I'm cold.
Oh, and there's one in the water.
Hey. Oh.
Ah. Here, move back a little, Teen.
Can almost feed him out of his
I know.
When they'd like fly up.
Back up a little, Teen, because you're in the feeding field. Christina, come back here. They're chickens. They're not seagulls. Here, Sheena, you guys need to come over this way. Let them eat some and... Christina, come here. Here, drive the boat. Yay. Alright. Where's the jellyfish?
Look at the in front of jellyfish.
I did. He's
It's a white jellyfish. I'm looking at just for green jellyfish.
No, I have a little life here. I drive 4 days a week and I work in the yard, so I don't know many of the people around. There's so many of us.
That's true.
So, I'm from Florida, and I have a Seminole jacket that has almost the exact same patterns on it.
This is hill tribes of the Mekong River Valley. This would be Karen, this would be Aka.
You know them, yes.
Two of the
What?
dominant tribes of northern Thailand
That's huge. There's another one.
Oh, yeah.
and Laos. My son grew up in Fort Wine. I pulled him out of high school after 3 years because then I could bring me a soccer club. Turned out that my master's degree in theology and preaching the gospel for 10 years now for 21 years. Married, a couple of daughters. Right now he's on home leave. He's got 2 months last
I've been there 50 years. I know most of the doctors and the lawyers and all those people. And they use everybody on board to do it. Is that right? They enlist her.
Mom, those are just cats.
Yeah, they're raising up the sails of the boat.
Does that cover the size of the crew? The weight of the sail?
I imagine that there's a formula for that. But, you know, there was a training that they had like 40 young men and women. Well, basically young men back then.
Oh, we're really ending.
But the ship is
Pretty
three-quarter
soon right
size.
here.
The berthing's three-quarter size.
Are they
Everything's
going
kid
back?
size in it.
Mom,
So
are we
the
then
sails, of course,
coming
are
back?
smaller.
Huh?
Are we then driving back?
I don't know. We were going to walk around.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're then going that boat
Yeah, we will.
to see that cat.
And don't forget the Morgan. It's really a great ship. Last remaining whale ship on sail.
Oh.
My phone wasn't that ship.
No, we didn't go in that one yet.
They're always important.
All right, let's go see the boat. Let's walk over this way towards the boats.
Well, my dad knows this. After they say
Walking on a boat chain.
it's not right to give you something more. Timberland.
Here, come on.
Mom! Oh, Mom!
What?
Look, that looks kind of scary. And that looks kind
What?
of scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whale.
Yeah.
Whaling place.
I can go in it?
Yeah. Be careful.
Can I go in this?
Be careful because you'll fall.
No, my dear. What about you? Do you want to play my mother? All right. All right. So your line is, we have our mother, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a round of applause for our boldness. Next, I'll be needing some people who have never sailed aboard a whaling ship to be our green hands. Now, is there anybody here who's never sailed on a whaler? Oh, come on, I bet a lot of you
all sailed
haven't.
on a whaling
Now,
ship?
I need people who are good at being seasick. I know of heads that Ha! So who's ever been sick of school? How about you two in the front row here? Yes. Yes, you. There you go, and one for you. One for you, sir. And you seem to be wearing the same dress. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to celebrate a great piece of American history. Now, if you look to your left, you will see the Charles W. Morgan.
Yes, the Charles W. Morgan, built in 1841, which means she's now 167 years old. Doesn't she look magnificent?
Sure does.
The Charles W. Morgan is a whaling ship. In fact, she's the only wooden whaling ship left.
You mean
in the
for
world.
whale watches?
You'd like to stand in this? Your line, right?
Mother, this is Pete, the man I told you so much about. Isn't he handsome? Mother, of course he is. Here, no mind me.
Pleased to meet you, ma'am. May I kiss the mother of my sweetheart?
Take this. Take the camera, Clayton.
Well then, ma'am, may I have your daughter's hand in marriage?
Please, Mama. Think of poor dear Papa, who's been dead for lo these many months. Don't you think he would smile upon our union?
Excuse me, ma'am, but if you don't approve of our marriage, Julie is still entitled to her dowry, isn't she? I can see I'm not welcome around here anymore. I'm leaving.
No, Pete, don't. Oh! Oh, Mama, I'm going to marry Pete, but oh, please tell me. I've got to know. Will we be welcome in your house? Goodbye, Mama. I'll always love you.
So Julie ran off to the big city with Pete, and her mother went sadly and tearfully back to her. Let's give her a round of applause. You and me. Why do I have to give you orders to puke? The waves were so big the greenhorn screamed. Ah! The rain and the wind were so strong that the experienced sailor screamed. Ah! And the thunder was so terrifying that the audience screamed. All seemed hopeless. The crew fell to the deck in terror. Of the fear of Julie, who held fast to her post, never leaving the wheel. She held fast to her post when the waves crashed over her. She held fast to her post when the rain and the wind raged about her. And she held on when the thunder roared in her ears. Finally, the storm began to let up and went quietly back to its seat. Let's have a big round of applause.